Ladies and dudes, there is one special thing I really want to say about the final chapter of the Evangelion movie that is truly my most favorite part of all. And I do want to praise the director for giving me the most important animation that I truly wanted that needs to make its return. Is 2D hand-drawn animation, baby. That wowed me the most! Oh, heck yeah! Well, anyway, hi ladies and dudes, this is Rebecca Lynn Barkley, aka Boobom 1987, this is my review for today. And today, I'm finally gonna do the last and final Evangelion movie. Finally, at long last, we're finally hanging on to that final chapter that all of us have been waiting for many months now. And to tell you the truth is, it's going to be way too hard for me to read. So, I wrote it down on a piece of paper. Yeah. It's hard for me to say about what the final chapter is. That's for sure. So, let's get this whole thing started about the final chapter of the Evangelion movie. And let's head on to the main plot of the story. It's a story about Shinji, Asuka, and this other Ray girl. They have to go on their own without their Avas and try to survive in some of the areas here in Japan so they can find some shelter, try to regroup themselves, and just try to stay alive as soon as they can. And also try to get ready for this final impact that's coming by, you know, in the later on part of the movie. That's all I could say about the main plot of the story because I don't want to take too many things away about it. So I guess everybody wants to know is, what the heck do I think about this movie? This is a very good final chapter film to watch. I guess you could say this is Evangelion the Endgame. Well, and since they already have a movie called The Avengers Endgame, you could say this is an Evangelion Endgame. And also, I think Spider-Man No Way Home also counts as an endgame as well. Since I guess you could say we're heading on to the endgame arc. Maybe that would be a perfect way to, you know, end a final chapter for a saga, I guess. But yeah, this movie is so darn mind-blowing. That's for sure. It had a very good storyline for the most part. The characters are likable. I love the 2D hand-drawn animation. And yes, it has some good CG animation as well. Well, you know what I mean. It had a really nice score. It has some good message to it. And also, there's some characters here and there who did get fleshed out and well developed for this movie. And we know one character's backstory. And yes, it had a very good finale. And the surprising thing is, it does have a few reference and hidden Easter eggs that us the fans need to pay attention for. And you could say this final Evangelion movie should deserve to be a homework film. Something that us the fans need to study about. We need to study about this film very darn carefully. Something I'm not that surprised of. So let's head on to my strongest points and the weakest points hard for me to read. Okay. For my strongest points of the movie, has to go to the third act. The third act is the best part I love about this movie. But I don't want to spoil anything for you. It just blew my mind. And my favorite part about the third act of the movie, something I will give the director credit for. Giving back 2D hand-drawn animation. Something that us, the fans, love for many, many years. And I'm so darn happy he brought it back in a film. Something I'm superly pleased. It just blew my mind. It just blew me away for the matter of minutes, I guess. I am very, 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 very happy to see something that I truly love for many, many years. And I hope and pray they can bring back that type of style for later on movies to come. I just hope and pray Disney can think of something to give us what we want back. And not doing the same old crap all over again. Well, if you guys know what I mean. So yeah, that 2D hand-drawn animation is the best part I love about third act without too many things carried away. And yes, ladies and dudes, there is going to be a little bit of reference and hidden Easter eggs I did found in the third act of the movie. Something I'm superly surprised of. Yeah, that's for sure, but without spoiling anything. So I will say for the strongest point of the movie is truly the third act. I will say for the weakest points of the movie is, there was a part where Shinji did nothing in the film in the first act of the movie. Yeah, he was just down and depressed. He doesn't want to do anything, and I guess he was too darn upset about what happened to Karu during the third movie, if you remembered it very carefully. Yeah, he was a waste of time in the first act of the movie while Asuka and Rei are trying to do some other things. And yeah, there was a part that the other Rei wants to get to know human life just a whole lot more. Something she never discovered before in her real life. That's for sure. So yeah, I will say for my weakest points in the movie is that Shinji just did nothing from the first act of the movie. Well, if we know the character too well for so many years or so. Oh boy, the characters. Who the heck am I gonna say about the characters? I think I'll go with one character, but without explaining too much, and that is Shinji's father, played by this English dub actor I'm very darn familiar with, but I can't remember where I heard his voice from. Is he from Funimation or ADV Films? I can't remember which one, since I'm familiar with both companies years ago. And yes, ladies and dudes, I will admit, Shinji's dad, he did have a backstory. It's about time we get to know his backstory. Something that us, the fans, never gotten from the original TV series of Neon Genesis of Evangelion. But without too many things taking away. I was just superly surprised about his backstory, and we try to get to know this character a whole lot more. I guess you could say he's the biggest fleshing out, developing character that we have ever gotten in movie history for anime-wise. I was just superly surprised about this character. Something I did not notice about. And yes, ladies and dudes, there was a part in that movie, somewhere around like the end of the second half of the film, where that guy doesn't have any eyes. wonder what the heck happened to his eyes. It just disappeared out of nowhere. Mm-hmm. Weird thing to say, huh, ladies and dudes? I think I don't have anything to say about Shinji's father. So I think Shinji's father is truly the most biggest fleshing out and developing character that we have ever gotten in movie history, and truly the most important part of the movie. Hands down. I will also say for Rei, she also got fleshed out, well developed as well. Since she decided to get to know human life a whole lot more. And, you know, what the human world feels like that she had never done before while she's an Eva pilot. Well, when you watch the whole movie from the first act and so around the beginning of the second act of the movie, you'll understand and you'll know what I mean. And also, I'll go ahead and do my rankings for all 4 of the Evangelion movies. The 4th place goes to the 3rd one. The 3rd place goes to the 4th one. The 2nd place goes to the 1st one. And for the 1st one, goes to the 2nd. So those are my rankings for all 4 of the Evangelion films that I did see this year. And now, ladies and dudes, here we go, my final thoughts of the final chapter of the Evangelion movie. Overall, since I cannot pronounce it very well, I will call it the Evangelion, the final chapter. Overall, the Evangelion, strike that, reverse it. Overall, the Evangelion, the final chapter, is a perfect way to end the Evangelion Saga. It had a very good storyline for the most part. The characters are likable. It has good 2D hand-drawn animation and good CGI animation as well. It had a really good score, and it's a perfect way to end the whole entire storyline. That's for sure. And it deserves to be one of the best anime comebacks of all time, period. I will say my 2nd best. So for my rating for this final chapter for the Evangelion film, I give it a 9.3 out of 10. It's a very good movie to watch, if you know what I mean. And that is my whole entire movie review of the final chapter of an Evangelion film. So tell me, ladies and dudes, what is your most favorite Evangelion movie of all time? Or feel free to do your own ranking for all 4 of the Evangelion films that was truly a reboot or retelling, whatever you want to call it. Well, whatever it is, leave a comment there and let me know. And also, ladies and dudes, I forgot to tell you, like, back from the 2nd review of the Evangelion movie, what is your most darkest Evangelion moment of all time? Something that was very, very dark to you when you watched the TV series or one of those 2 films. Well, whichever it is, leave a comment there and let me know. Or is it the 3rd one? I can't remember anyway. For me, my most darkest moment I have ever seen in Evangelion history is the part where, you know, the part on episode 24 when you see Shinji using his Eva to squeeze Kaoru to death, and you can hear that music noise, you know, that came from an orchestra. You know, Shinji's really heartbroken that he had no choice but to kill the best friend that he knew, that he's known as the Angel. Yeah, that's for sure. So, that's all I could say about that. And I'll be back very soon for another video to come. So, I'll see you all later, and sayonara!